has something special in that offensive line group. We got 3 seniors in it, and they're the ones that spearhead that group, and they get out to people.
Now, they say everything happens in cycles when you talk about life. Now, years ago, HBCU programs could knock off any PWI football team. Now, 2 weeks ago, we saw North Carolina A&T beat Kent State, and Grambling was knocking on the door of defeating an even larger program in Arizona. Now, in your opinion, has the quality of athlete gotten better in the HBCU ranks over the past few years?
Well, I think the quality of athletes are still, comparable to each other. It's not the quality of athletes anymore. It's the amount of outside influences that you have at Power 5 conferences. I mean, this thing is bigger than just going out on the field. You can play with them for a half, but it's those bottom teams that you probably can play with for 4 quarters. And if you look at the significance of the games that have been played, the teams that are coming off tough years, record might not be as good, coaching changes, you got a better chance against those teams because they're trying to find themselves early in the year as well. And then you look at the major difference is nutrition. What are you putting in these guys to recover from a food standpoint? We don't have the nutrition centers that some of these big schools have. We don't have the influx of shakes and protein shakes and dietary supplements that you can give these guys to help them recover and continue to have that muscle mass. We just don't have that. I know we don't have it. So the playing field is not level. Yeah, you can compete with them for the first half, and if they're subbing like the 2 teams we played against, they playing 120 guys, and you may not travel but 70 or 75 or 80. So it wears you down over the course of time. And that's really the big difference in the gap.
Wrapping up with Dawson Odums, he is the head football coach of the Southern University Jaguars. They're in action this weekend versus Alabama A&M. 6 o'clock kickoff from Lewis Cruz Stadium in Huntsville. Now, over the past few weeks, as I've talked to the coaches from both the SWAC and MEAC right here on the HBCU Report, from everything that I've heard, it's pretty obvious that there's another level of excitement and focus because everyone wants to win the conference, whether it be the MEAC or SWAC, for the chance to play in the Armed Forces Reserve Celebration Bowl. I know you probably have the whole one game at a time mentality or one game at a time concept, but has this championship bowl created even more excitement in your locker room? No, we never even talk about it. Really? Never talk about it. We never discuss championships. Okay. We never talk about championships. We never, we practiced this morning. We already been to practice, and my thing for the team after every practice is I ask them, what's the goal? And they say to go 1-0. And I said, well, who's that goal in reference to? They say Alabama A&M. That's it. If we wasn't in season, I ask them, what's the goal? To be the best we can be today. That's it. That's the goal. It has nothing to do with what's down the road because you can't control what's down the road. What you can control is exactly what's going on today. And if you put enough days together, you'll put enough good weeks together. Put enough good weeks together, put good months together, put good months together, put good years together. That's how it works right here. Oh, that's awesome, Coach. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. He is Dawson Odums, head football coach. That's what I'm going to start calling you, Awesome Dawson. Yeah. That's okay. Dawson Odums, head football coach, Southern University. Coach, thank you so much for joining the show, and good luck this weekend against Alabama A&M. And we look forward to talking to you the week of the Bayou Classic. Hey, always a pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. Go Jags. All right, thanks, man. Have a good one. Thanks. All right. That's my guy right there, Dawson Odums, a good man right there. Now, I almost went in a little bit because they have this thing. Well, have you never seen Coach Dawson Odums? Google him. He looks like Faison Love, like Big Perm from Friday. And I'm talking about, man, they have so many memes about this guy. I didn't even want to go down that road today because I was going to put on the stand-up. But that's my guy right there, Coach Dawson Odums, longtime head coach, Southern University, in action this weekend against Alabama A&M, led by Coach James Spady, who, by the way, good friend of the show. Haven't heard from Coach Spady. Coach Spady, you're listening, call me. Or as the late, great Miss Cleo would say, call me now, child. Call me now. All right, so coming up next, we're going to get into the HBCU Report Game of the Week, which is Miles College versus Morehouse College right here in the ATL. 1 o'clock kickoff, BT Harvey Stadium, and we'll get it started with the reigning SIAC football champion, Miles College Golden Bears head football coach Reginald Ruffin. He's up next right here on the HBCU Report, now being heard via iTunes, Google Play, and of course Spreaker. And yes, we are powered by sportsnewsandbrews.com.
It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway. Connecting the SWAC, the MEAC, SIAC, and the CIAA. The HBCU experience lives here. It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. You can now hear the show. I am very happy to announce this. You can now hear the show via Google Play or iTunes in addition to Spreaker. We also have a few other things in the works, so we're trying to expand over multiple platforms. And so before you know it, the HBCU Report will be everywhere you are. That's my word. And don't forget, the show is powered by sportsnewsandbrews.com. And coming up this afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff right here in the ATL for BT Harvey Stadium, you have a very talented Morehouse Maroon Tigers team taking on the reigning SIAC football champion, Miles College Golden Bears, led by Reginald Ruffin. And right now, my good friend, Coach Ruffin, joins us on the show for maybe the 100th time. So, Coach, welcome back.
Thank you, Rod. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, man. So, you opened the season with conference play, which is kind of a rare thing, but you opened up with conference play versus Fort Valley in the Labor Day Classic with the victory. That was followed by a 29-0 shutout loss versus West Georgia. You were off last week, so you basically had 2 weeks to prepare for your matchup versus Morehouse. What have the Golden Bears been working on at practice in preparation for a very talented Morehouse squad?
Well, we've been working on being fundamentally sound. I don't think we were fundamentally sound the first 2 ball games. We gave up a lot of passes. The first game, some busted coverage. Then you turn around and you play West Georgia. You turn the ball over against West Georgia. We got 7 turnovers in 2 ball games, and they all come from the quarterback play. So we had to get that corrected real fast in order for us to have a chance to, just compete in the conference and be in the consideration for the conference championship. So we just had to just do what we do as Miles College football program. We just get back to the basics, fundamental, blocking, tackling, lineman assignment, and we just give a chance for guys to heal a little bit because we did play West Georgia, which is a perennial powerhouse, Division II, and got beat up a little bit. But, off week couldn't have come at a better time to get ready to start conference play.
Now, I'll talk to Coach Freeman coming up in a few minutes, but I'm sure his defense has been working on how to stop your quarterback, David Whipple. SIAC football fans might remember last year's game versus Stillman where he exploded for 227 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and rushed for another 119 yards and a touchdown. Now, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. And I get older and my memory gets a little bad, but he didn't become the full-time starter until week 5 or 6 or something like that last year?
Yeah, it was possibly week 4, if I'm not mistaken. And, it's just about accountability, about you working hard, doing the little things. And David had to learn to be a leader. Nothing is going to be given to you. You play for Coach Ruffin. Everything you get, you have to earn it. And, he knows we don't give him anything. And he felt like he should have, just be loose a little bit and not be as a leader that he should have been last year. And the other guy beat him out, and he came back and fought for his position. And he's been tremendous, done a great job in leading the guys and doing the little things. And you get a second chance and in life, and he's making the best of it.
Now, another guy that didn't make his mark on the SIAC until week 3 or 4 into the season last year was your running back, Jamarcus Nance. Now, he managed to finish the season with close to 800 yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground. So far, with 2 games under his belt this season, he has 196 yards, so that's about 100 yards a game on 34 attempts. Talk to us about this young man from Muscle Shoals.
Well, Jamarcus is, he's elusive, he's quick. He's a good young man. You know, he does what we ask him to do on and off the field. He works hard. You know, he packs a punch to be so small. And last year he was injured the first 2 ball games, and he kind of came back on the scene the third game. But it wasn't by choice. You know, he's just injured. The reason why he didn't play the first couple of games. But you know, he's really taken the bull by the horn and stepped up, being the leader on offense. And you know, he just has to run the football. We got to make sure he's toting the ball. There's some you know, working around the offense. He's involved in the offense. That's what I always tell the offense coordinator. Make sure he's involved in the offense, and you know, because he has to touch the football.
Now, let me reset. This is the HBCU Report, being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsAndBrews.com. Rob Calloway on the line right now with Reginald Ruffin, head football coach of the reigning SIAC football champion Miles College Golden Bears. They are in action this weekend right here in the ATL, 1 o'clock kickoff, BT Harvey Stadium versus Morehouse College. Now, last season, you guys together put together a collective effort, knocked off Tuskegee 26-23. You followed that with a conference championship. Okay, now, and just be honest with me. You know, I know, you know, certain coaches don't want to say, you know, certain things. So if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, it's cool. But would you like to have more to play for? Like, I know that the Pioneer Bowl was the postseason matchup for the SIAC champion versus the CIAA, but that thing is always up in the air. But would you like something more to play for that might mirror what the FCS teams and the MEAC and the SWAC have in the Celebration Bowl?
Well, you know, I just think, you know, you play with the hand that dealt to you. And, you know, for us to have an opportunity, you know, if we go to the NCAA playoffs, which we won't because we have obligation in the Turkey Day class. But, you know, it gives you an opportunity to play for a national championship and see how well Tuskegee did in the playoff run last year. And, you know, just to have that opportunity once to save them a couple of years before when they went to the NCAA championship game. You know, you get an opportunity to play. But, you know, and watching the bowl with the MEAC and the SWAC, I think that was a nice bowl. And I played in the Pioneer, coached in the Pioneer Bowl. And, you know, just give an opportunity for, you know, HBCUs to continue the trend, you know, to having something they can always call their own, you know, with the Pioneer Bowl or the Heritage Bowl back in the day. And, you know, I just think it's just whatever hand is dealt. You know, you're going to the Pioneer Bowl, you're going to the Pioneer Bowl, you're going to the NCAA playoff, you're going to the NCAA playoffs. So, you know, it don't make a difference to me, you know, as long as you get an opportunity to continue playing and get an opportunity to compete against the best.
Now, of course, I went to Bama State, but here's the thing. As a coach, would you like to go to the playoffs, or is it good to see that FCS opponent at the end of the season in Bama State?
Well, it's kind of, you know, it's tough for me as the head coach. It's tough because your kids get the chance to see the great facilities that Alabama State have, or the A&Ms, or the, you know, the Prairie, those facilities, you know, and that's tough when it comes to recruiting. And, you know, but to play those schools, it means a lot. You get a chance to showcase your talent, see how you match up against, you know, the SWAC or FCS schools with more scholarships and more resources. And, you know, you get a chance to match up and you know, and it's on the bigger scene, you know, with increased size in the stadium and, you know, and the capacity of crowds. And so, you know, you get a chance to see how you match up against the top dogs in the MEAC or the SWAC. So, you know, it's just, you got to take the fight. If the fight is, if you're up for the contract of getting ready to battle, you just got to take the fight to the opponent.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, before I let you go, I want to close this interview out the same way I plan on closing it out with Coach Freeman. So here's the deal, because I know, you know, we've talked and you've, you know, very insightful about certain things. But as of yesterday, I'm not sure, you know, if the number has changed since yesterday, but as of yesterday, there have been 214 African-American males killed by the police in 2016. Okay. Now, as basically the father away from home, or really like the dad for some of these guys that don't have fathers at home, for, you know, 50, 60 plus student athletes, mostly African-American. Like, have you had any conversation with them about the way they should carry themselves when they're off campus and you know, if they have to interact with